Hey guys, what's up? Once again welcome to Moviebuzz Ltd. As the film begins, a young boy named Dicky is shown reading in a regular school and getting lost in his thoughts. His shoes are filthy, and he didn't wash his face before coming to school. However, a teacher approaches him and inquires as to why he didn't clean his shoes before coming to school. He chastises him for not taking care of his personal hygiene. Meanwhile, a beautiful female teacher arrives and says, "I will handle this boy, you can leave." Hearing this, the teacher leaves and the female teacher asks the boy why he come to the school in this condition. The boy says innocently, "I have no mother, and there is no one who will teach me how to care for myself." The teacher took pity on him and asks him to go to the class while cleaning his face. After it, Dicky is shown in the class and the teacher asks everyone in the class what they want to be in their life. Someone says he wants to be an artist, and someone else says he wants to be a doctor, but when it was Dicky's turn, the teacher makes a disappointed face due to it. The students start laughing at Dicky. Dicky says, "I want to stay poor because being rich or poor is nothing to me. I believe humans' good nature is more important." Pen slips from the teacher's hand, who was listening to him carefully. Dicky picks it up and returning it to the teacher. The teacher scolds him and asks him to go back to his seat. He moves to his seat and the teacher picks up the pen with a tissue. Dicky's father is shown a labor. He was doing his job and missing Dicky, a naught student named Johnny, by an expensive robot. The students were seeing this robot and Dicky also moves forward to see it, but Johnny moves him away while saying, "You can't touch it." Johnny makes fun of another girl who is powerful, but Dicky forbids him for doing this, that he shouldn't do this. The girl leaves while weeping. Dicky moves to her and makes friendship with her while consoling her. Dicky's father was doing his job that was difficult. Meanwhile, a man arrives and asks him to leave this job, but he says, "I will do this job because I have to buy an electric fan for my son that we haven't." At night, he brings a fan at home while buying it and Dicky becomes happy to see it. Unfortunately, it did not work, and they were forced to spend the night in the hot weather. They even kill the insects on the wall, and they love each other because they have none in this world except for each other. The next day, they watch the news that a weird thing is seen in the sky. A few people say this is a flying thing. Well, after a few days they go to a mall where Dicky asks for a toy from his father. It was the same robot that the naughty kid had. His father couldn't buy that toy because he has no money, but Dicky insists to want this toy. His father beats him because of it and he weeps and moves out of the mall. There was the teacher outside who makes him understand not to tease his father and do whatever he says because he gives you whatever he had. He is your father and does everything for your well-being. At night, Dicky's father is shown at a place where the broken things are thrown and he was finding useful things. After some time, a thing comes upside under him and a TV placed here turns on automatically. Returning home, he says to Dicky, "My son is angry, I have brought something for you." He actually has brought a toy for him from those things, but he refuses to accept this toy because he remembered his mom's insult and he was still angry with his father. He starts finding that toy when his father sleeps. He wants to see what his father has brought for him. He finds that toy and it was a green ball. The next day, he shows that green ball to his friends when he goes to school. Johnny's friends start making fun of him. He becomes furious hearing this and gets ready to fight with them. Johnny calls a powerful boy to beat Dicky, but Dicky knows that he can't fight with him. That's why he shakes hand with him while putting his enmity aside, but as he shakes hand he throws him far. His father scolds him when he reaches home while seeing his condition, as he discovered that he fought with someone. That's why he says that you will not fight with anyone after today. Then he asks him the reason of the fight. He shows him the green ball, and when he sees that ball he feels like there is something in the ball and he is seeing it repeatedly. He couldn't understand why is this happening. He feels maybe there is a ghost in it. He was scared and starts yelling. At midnight his father becomes irritated from him and locks him in the cupboard. He sees the ball in the darkness that was shining. It emits a lot of light, and this light transports him to the sky, where he notices the ball has transformed into a strange creature. His father takes him out from the cupboard. After some time, he says to his father, "I will be a good kid and will not tease you." After it, his father goes to his job and he starts watching that green ball's small creature. It was looking cute and he knows none will accept it, so he wants to keep it safely. Now Dicky questions it and discovers that it is an alien dog and its name is CJ 7 inches. They spend some time together and were happy together. Now the alien dog makes a rotten apple fresh for Dicky and he feels his new friend has magical powers. The next morning, Dicky goes to school with his alien friend. Meanwhile, another dog comes in front of them on the way. Now the dog was about to attack them, but before this, the alien dog attacks that dog and saves Dicky from it. Dicky becomes happy to find his alien friend so powerful and he becomes courageous to see this. Today was Dicky's paper and he goes to washroom and asks his friend to do something for his exam. Hearing this, his alien friend starts doing its task and makes a special glasses for him and Dicky wears it immediately. His alien tells him that he can get good marks while wearing these glasses and it will help you a lot. During the exam, he wears the glasses, but strange small magical mosquitoes emerge from them and check the papers of the students while spreading in the class and tell Dicky the answers to the questions. The next day, he discovers when the result was declared that he got good marks in exams for the first time. He was excited with it and his teacher was also surprised at how he got good marks. He suspects and asks him to give his glasses, but when he throws the glasses to the teacher his face gets black, being burned. After it, there was their physical test and Dicky again asks for help and this time, it gives him a special pair of shoes. Dicky jumps so high after wearing it that he breaks the machine. He swims fast when it was swimming test. He was even making his all teachers surprised with his powers. Everyone was trying to hold him but he was so fast that they couldn't. His powers were taking him to the sky, but then he discovers that it was just a dream. He opens his eyes and finds CJ 7 inches in front. He thinks that now his dream will come true and he goes to school being passionate. As per his dream, a dog comes in front of him. Now he knows that his alien will beat it as he saw in his dream, but nothing goes like this. His alien got beaten by the dog and after it, he reaches school with his alien being injured. As he saw in his dream, today was his paper in real and he asks his alien to help him. So I will pass the exam and will get good marks, because he was feeling maybe his alien will give him glasses with which he got answers to all questions. Because the alien gave him a filthy thing instead of glasses, his dream was not fulfilled. Now obviously he couldn't pass the test. He was giving punishment to his alien because he couldn't pass the test because of it. He again asks for help from his alien when it was his physical test's turn and says, please give me the power that I will pass this test, but the alien didn't give him anything even this time because it has no magical power. This time, it gives him that filthy thing and Dicky becomes dirty because of it. Everyone was throwing water at him to wash him. He was embarrassed and enraged at the alien, so he threw it in the garbage as retaliation for his insult. Returning home, he realizes that he hasn't done good with CJ 7 inches because it never promised me to help me. I thought of all this. He turns back to bring his friend, but until then the garbage car has taken his friend from there. He becomes depressed and moves to home while weeping. Reaching home he sees his alien was already there. They meet each other and were happy. He promises his friend that he will never leave it. Meanwhile, his friend starts checking this alien and asks, is there a battery inside it? How it works. Then at midnight his alien friend repairs that fan with its magical powers. As we saw before, it wasn't working. It means it has magical powers and it does this so they will sleep calmly in the hot weather. It becomes tired as it has served its powers to repair this fan. The next day, Johnny comes on Dicky's way. When he goes to school, there were Johnny's friends with him and want to take his alien from Dicky. He tries to save his friend, but Johnny takes that alien from him and they want to check that alien from tools. Dicky stops him, but Johnny beats him and luckily, the powerful girl arrives who is now Dicky's friend. Now there is a fight between the powerful girl and boy. The powerful girl wins this fight. Their teacher sees them fighting and says, I am angry with you and now punishing you. The punishment is you have to stand at place. Meanwhile, Dicky sees CJ7 behind the plants and it runs to Dicky. They get shocked to see a good relationship between a toy and a human. How they become good friends. On the other side, Dicky's father tells everyone that his son got good marks in paper. None was interested in what he was saying. Then his boss arrives and tells, your son didn't get good marks, but he has made 0 100 100 himself and he lied. His father doesn't believe this, so he fights with the boss. His father was fired from this job because of the fight and he thinks, I should ask my son about it. Maybe the boss was saying right and my son has done this. His father asks Dicky. He accepts his mistake in front of his father and says, "Yes, father, I changed marks so you will not get hurt." His father becomes furious and says, "I do a lot of hard work to submit your fees and you lied to me and fooled me. You can't imagine how good studies are, it is something that can take us out from poverty." Then he says that I will keep your CJ7 from you as a punishment. He does the same and takes his CJ7 from him. He becomes furious at it. That's why he says to his father, "Move away from my life, I don't want to live with you." His father says, "I will leave, but if you will get more than 60 marks in the next test." So the next day, his father goes to school for delivering food and the teacher meets his father and says, "I will be happy if Dicky will get good marks," and his father also becomes happy to hear this. He says, "You always take care of my son and I thank you from my heart." Then his father moved to his job place and apologizes to his boss, but his boss apologizes to him and says, "It was my mistake, I shouldn't talk like this about your son. I believe that your son will grow up to be a huge man who is successful in life, and that he will return to his job after that, and he believes that his son will do something big and will be a huge man." Dicky works hard and gets 65 marks in his paper. His father said that he will move away from his life when he will get more than 60 marks. Now he has got marks. During his job, a tank falls on Dicky's father. Due to it, he becomes injured and was taken to the hospital immediately. Dicky didn't know what happened to his father suddenly. He was sitting disappointed and depressed in the hospital. He was worried. Meanwhile, the teacher arrives and tells him that his father is no more. Dicky becomes broken after hearing this because he has none in this world except for his father. Meanwhile, CJ7 releases itself and moves to his father and revives his father while emitting power from its body. Dicky is again shown with his father because he has revived and he was happy to get his father back. He hugs him. Dicky apologizes to him while weeping and says, "I will work hard and will do whatever you say." CJ7, who has used its powers, now gets tired. After it gets faint. Being weak means now it wasn't working. Dicky tries to awake it and make it work again, but nothing happened like this, and he keeps his alien friend with him. He believes his friend will be fine one day. Now everything was fine in the school. The powerful boy and girl become friends. Dicky still believes that he will hear his friend's voice one day. Then he sees a spaceship in the sky, and as a result, his friend gains strength, and Dicky rejoices because he believes his friend will resume working. Then a cute lovely thing like his friend is shown coming to him, and it was actually a CJ7. It wasn't alone, but there were thousands of CJ7s behind it. The final scene of the film shows them arriving on Earth unexpectedly.